back to another video. Today we are looking at all the concept art for Arkham City. This is all the art that went into this game. Some of it's just like art in general, promotional art, and some of it's also concept art that they were thinking about putting into the game. Like the first designs, apparently, like pretty much. So let's start at the beginning. There's 4 pages. And I'm guessing, what is that, 5 times 4, which is of course 20. So 20 times 4, there's 80 things to look at. Start off with this Catwoman picture. This is all the promotional art. They did this like white and black kind of thing, with just one color being set out. That was her goggles, red. So all of these are promotional art right here. All except Robin. These 6 are, or 7. Two-Face, left side of it, or I guess his left side of his face is the red in this. We have the Joker with his green smile. The Penguin, his monocle is left out. This is a picture he has his top hat on, which is cool. The Riddler. I'm guessing this was a lot of promotional art. They actually, Lego, I think, was it, well, just Lego in general. I think it was Lego Batman 2 though. They made a lot of promotional art that was supposed to be like this. I feel like back in the day, DC had a lot of white. That was the thing. That was all their art had to be white. All their toy boxes were like white. Just picture Batman and Catwoman. I think Batman has a color on him. This picture has his blood. Then we have Robin. Yes, this is the Combat Saga Accepted art. As you can tell, nothing really changed. It's cool to see anyways. We have Two-Face and crew. So his crew is kind of different. We have Two-Face. See some of the buildings, what they're supposed to look like. Go for a president, which is not what Two-Face is running for, but cool nonetheless. We have Catwoman's execution. I'm pretty sure this goes in like order. Like what do you call it? This goes in series order, chronological, and as you can tell, it's supposed to take place outside, which is interesting. We have a Tiger Sniper. I guess there's supposed to be a whole class of those. They look really cool. Got like a Batwing on the side. I can't tell what that is. We have the Penguin's Henchman. This is what they were looking like, and they pretty much didn't change. That first design definitely didn't change. I see that all the time. Second design kind of can't find. We have Solomon Grundy's design. He looks really cool. You see that they're definitely planning to put him in the bottom. Joker's henchmen. They were definitely going to look different. They look very menacing. Look at that mask. Looks like a blacksmith for some reason. We have Mr. Freeze's design, which also didn't really change. I guess they were also planning pretty much everything in this picture is what came out in the game. Very interesting. There's the Riddler trophies. The Riddler design still looks the same. The Calendar Man's concept design. It kind of looks different with the weird head brace. There's calendars. There's Professor Hugo Strange. It doesn't look like he changed very much. Batman confronted the Penguin. The Penguin did not change. So that black. I wonder who came up with that design, with that thought that the glass could be in his eye. Because props to whoever did. We have the Armorovich twins, Hammer and Sickle. They both look very menacing. That version of Hammer, though, looks very menacing with that smile. His hammer seems a lot shorter, too, and so does his sickle. And instead, here's a little thing. So, on the front, they both have pretty much like the same tattoos, if you'll notice. A star in the middle with the 2 guns on their chests. That's not what their designs originally has. Like, so Sickle in this picture has the penguin on his shoulder, and this design on Hammer has a smiley face. Also, Hammer's pants say Arkham City. It says I can't even. It's like Arc Site. Kind of like weird version of the city. Act Site. We then have the Joker's crew. All with the same design for some reason. I guess I could repaint it or whatever. They all look pretty much the same. A lot less buffer though. So League of Assassins. They were always planned to be women apparently. And they're dressed very weird. I don't know, this is not what they came out with. The Mechanical Guardians, they look the same. Still very interesting story. Cool hands though, look at those hands. We had the Harley Quinn intercoms. They spoke through. Don't even know what the point of these were. We had the Joker's sick bed. This is what the Joker's supposed to look like. He's supposed to be, I think, a lot more sick than he was going to be. And there's a weird skeleton in the background. Like, this is like early concept art. And so that makes me wonder if they were planning to put Joker in the museum, which would have been interesting. We have the death of Joker. This is what it's originally supposed to look like. And it pretty much came to this, but Joker's supposed to have his sick bed clothes on. That's probably supposed to be followed by flames behind Batman. We have the presence to dream. Is what they call this. Perchance to dream? Yeah. Very, very creepy. This is Batman, rabbit design, looks the same. Eyes are bleeding goo though, so that's interesting. We have Dream World. Mad Hatter there. I think Mad Hatter's suit was gonna be a lot more less dirty and stuff. But this is pretty much the same, you're flying on the clock. You know, the Mad Hatter Tea Party, probably the creepiest picture in the game. Those rabbits are very unsettling. You see Batman's gloves there and stuff. Pretty much the same. The Batwing, MK2, or Mark II, looks pretty much the same as the picture. Tiger helicopters, they look very cool. The Enigma machine. Arkham City's main entrance, Batman standing on it. It was gonna be very, this is like, you could tell when it's very early concept art, because I don't even know what the Tiger Guards are gonna look like. But you could tell, like, they were gonna have, the wall was going to be very short, like people could see like they could escape really easily, and the buildings were gonna be huge in this. Definitely, they had a lot of bigger plans. I could tell. The Ace Chemical is an administration building. That building looks pretty much the same, definitely with climbing it and stuff. You have the Predator watches. See, this is like later concept art. This is when they were already starting to make the game, because you tell like the billboard and stuff are already Arkham themed. The Monarch Theater. And honestly, this looks exactly like the game, The Terror. See Batman in the corner up there. Looks practically the same. The rooftops of Arkham City. Really cool. They're definitely going to have some taller buildings. The streets of Arkham City. Probably going to be a lot darker game. We have Gotham Rain. This stays in the game for time. Arkham City. This is the original. Now this is a very interesting picture. Actually, probably one of my favorite concept art. So you can tell that this picture is very, very early concept art. I mean, because look at that Wonder Tower. That tower looks nothing like what we had. The only thing I would say is that that roof part was the same with that weird little obstacle thing. But this tower looks completely different. And look at the buildings around it. That looks like old Gotham with the more 1800 style buildings. They look very wooden. 1700, sorry. Definitely like old Gotham did. But you can see there's still kind of modern stuff in the background. So I think that this would have been an area where old Gotham still was, that was kind of unchanged. And that people were just kind of living in a modern age. You also tell it's kind of like a marina around Wonder Tower. You see people on there. And in the background we had the modern Gotham with the steel works and the very giant Ferris wheel for some reason. We have Amusement Mile. Pretty much look the same actually. Like literally this looks exactly the same for what they came out with. Pretty cool looking. We have Falcone shipping. This looks even, I mean, this is exactly the same to the game. I can't tell any difference. Of course, that building is where Nora was found. We have the Bowery. This is pretty much changed. And I know that they were going to have a Batmobile. Like, this looks like, it's Batmobile. They could have a Batmobile in this part. But, like, the game that came out definitely could have a Batmobile. There wasn't enough road. There would have been really no point. They had bigger plans. But what they came out with was perfect. Gotham Skyline. Cool picture. If you're planning to play in this area, it's like background pictures. You have Wayne Tower. I don't even know. Wayne Tower might have been planned to be accessible. Who knows? I'm not seeing any Batcave on concept art, so I don't think Batcave is supposed to be in this game. The Gotham monorail. It's pretty cool. Pretty sure what we got. The subway entrance. Also what we got pretty much. Subway East. But the subway station looks kind of different. And what it reminds me of is Stag's airship right here. Love this. Fly with us sign. Get that on the subway. Looks like there's a part where your train would play. You know what? Actually, this is kind of strange because it looks like there's a part where you're playing a fight in a subway. And I wonder if they made the mechanics because there's a DLC where you do fight in the combat little campaign things. There's a one where you are fighting in a moving train, and I wonder if they planned that. We have subway terminal, or they at least made the gameplay for it. This looks different and kind of the same with, of course, like the bridge falling down and falling over the train and all that. A little different, kind of rounder. The industrial building looks very different. There's Sionis steel mill with the line. This is where like the snipers were and stuff. That's cool. Joker's ride. Production lines. It's called loading bay. I think this is the room that we fought the big room in. Very creepy looking heads. Bill, look how small Batman is. Jeez. We have the furnace. This looks nothing like was in the game. Very interesting. I like how Batman looks very missing all these. Batman is still mill. I guess they like put Batman in these to like figure out. This is like something from a movie. I think the only reason they put Batman here was like show the size of Joker's House of Mirrors. That's cool that they were planning to have that. I kinda wish they did. They had mirrors in this game, but it would have been very weird to do multiple in the same room. With Gotham architecture, this building did come out in the game. I remember that because it has the weird heading. This is the Gotham Bank, I believe. We have streets in ruins. So yeah, I think there was a plan to be old Gotham. Or you know what, even like there's old Gotham under that. And the buildings were like synchronized, they built on top of it. Super weird idea. Protocol 10 in effect. Of course, all this stuff happening. And that actually looks like that one. This area does look very familiar. Like the church is even in the same spot. This would have been like next to the courthouse. Like that helicopter would have been like right to or left on it from the helicopter view, but it would have been pointing right at the courthouse. And that candy head looked like it was about to be hit off of. Very interesting view. We have the grand finale. There's Joker up there. I guess he was supposed to land on Clay. This would have been a very cool cinematic moment. I kind of wish they did do this. Joker in the between, Clayface and Batman. Batman Shadow. Oopsie. Just went on there. We have the last row. We have the JCPD building. The bats, and we're going to be in the front. Cool. We have Mr. Freeze's lab in the JCPD. Looks pretty much the same. A little bit taller. The Iceberg Lounge. I wish we could have saw more of the iceberg. Look on top of the iceberg. Looks like there wasn't a bridge to the iceberg at all. Probably the climb, but I wish we got to see more of that. So immediately breaking it. The experience Antarctic dining, which I think they did use this poster. Enjoy the atmosphere. Heist cocktails, families welcome, penguin show. Yeah, we didn't get to see any live penguins. That would have been cool. We have Zaz in prison. This was, I guess, planned. Batman would, or Penguin would put Zaz, and they technically still did, but Zaz, of course, escaped and finishes plan. We have Cyrus Pickey Institute for Natural History. That's what the building was supposed to look like, and it pretty much came to be. The lion was supposed to be on the top. Looks like there's like some penguins in the front. You know, the mammoth. This room looks very different from the one we got. We have the exhibits. Gonna be very compact. I wonder if they were even planning to make them viewable. Kinda wish we did get to see Zaz. That's how the side mission would start. Like, you play through that story mode, you see him at the beginning, like Zaz in his cage, and then later you see him out of his cage when you're leaving. We have the main exhibition hall. So this is like upgraded version of the Mammoth. Mammoth look kind of small. The museum looked very grand compared to what we got. Looks very old. We have Trails in the Desert, Trials in the Desert, which was of course the part where, look at that. This is of course the Raja Gold base boss fight place. Those weird trials. But look, you see Water Tower in the background with that weird design they gave it. It also looks like, you see that little weird circle thing in the right of the picture? I think that was one of those weird sewers things that was in old Gotham, which is weird to see that they were planning to use those. These are honestly really cool. They could have had some cool ones for Arkham Asylum if they put those out in this game. We had the courthouse. The courthouse looks pretty much the same. Weird. I think that statue wasn't there though. Two-Face's courtroom. Now this looks pretty much exactly the same. A lot more light, a lot more fancy on the side of it. Like look at that floor compared to the other side. There's a hole in the roof. You have the church. The church looked cool. I mean, it looked exactly the same as it did. Okay. The top is different though. I could tell. There wasn't a gate around it or a graveyard. You have the pipe organ. It has the medical sign on it too, because this is the medical building. Lots of candles. And Wonder City. This is later design, you can tell. That robot was on. This place would be cool if like robots just walking around still. Creepy. You have the alleyways of Wonder City. I wonder who those guards are supposed to be. Just tire guards. You have the Mechanical Guardians of Wonder City. Gotham, Wonder City. Mechanical Guardians keep Wonder City safe. That's a cool sign. I think they still use that. The Lazarus Pit experimentations. Now this is weird. So this is supposed to be like people who were testing out with the Lazarus Pit, and you can tell they have some old clothes on, which is definitely like, maybe they were supposed to be like a flashback scene. This is supposed to be like the people in the old Gotham, maybe the creators. It's a very interesting picture. We have the Lazarus Pit. This is the final version, pretty much the one we got. They don't have the dome in the roof though. And then last but not least, we have Wonder Tower. This is like climbing up Wonder Tower, not the top of it though. Still a cool picture though. You see Batman on the top of that little water tower looking thing. That's a Quentin Sharp Real campaign thing too. That's pretty much what we got. I think there was a viewing deck on the other side of that if you look. And that's all the concept art. Some of these are very interesting and have like very cool details. Like this picture with the original Arkham City, the Arkham City front. A lot of the original buildings, a lot of the museum pictures have some interesting pictures. Definitely like Azrael in his cage is really cool. Zaz in prison. Has a lot of story behind it. But yeah, it didn't come out. It's very interesting to see. And a lot of these are just like promotional art, like this stuff. But yeah, it's still really cool. So if you like this video, I'll let you like, subscribe, feedback, search, appreciation. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.